that's clogged pretty good. Womp, womp. Yeah, it's finally happened. My X1C here has finally taken a poop. No, not a poop. It poops all the time when it prints. It's taken an actual poop. It won't print anymore. It's got a clogged nozzle. I can't push anything through it. So I figured the perfect time to turn this into an opportunity to show you guys how to upgrade to the E3D Obxidian High Flow Nozzle. This thing claims to have 60% higher flow than the stock Hotend. You can get these over at West 3D, $80 for this particular one here. You can get the fully assembled for $110. Check that out. I'll put the link in the description for that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for me. We do live streams every Saturday, building something, having some sort of fun. So check us out there. But let's get into upgrading this thing and let's show you guys how it's done. Now, before I get in here and just pull this thing out and just throw it in the garbage like it was yesterday's news, it has served us well, so I want to give it a goodbye, okay? So go to the comment section, tell it goodbye. It's done a good job. Rest in peace. Now let's get on to the upgrade. So on mine, what I'm going to do is just move this AMS out of the way a little bit just so we can get a better view of it real quick. So I'm just going to move it down here, kind of out of the way. If you need to, you can disassemble and take it off, but I don't think it's necessary. So we'll pull this top glass off. Set it somewhere safe. So we're going to start by taking this off. It's just got the magnets in it up top, and down here just pull the front. And you can set it aside like this, or you can set it up here like that just to get it out of the way. Try not to break anything. You can kind of move the wires in that little groove there, keep it from falling out. So what we're going to want to do is we got 3 sets of wires here that we got to unplug, and we're going to loosen these 2 screws out. We got to take this here off. Typically, if you got filament stuck in there or something, you're going to have to cut it, or get it out one way or the other. But you're just going to push down on this and pull out. Sometimes that can be tricky. Don't let it fool you. Just push down on it a little bit and pull it on out of there. And we're going to loosen this off. There. Try not to pull just on the wires here. Sometimes they're a little bit of a pain. And sometimes, like this one, it's got a lock on it. You got to push down right here on that to get it to come out. These are all kind of tucked behind a little piece right here that hides the wires and tucks them in there. Get those out of there. Okay. Got those out of the way. Get your favorite trusted Allen wrench here and loosen these off. I always want to start with the original regular end of these. Don't start trying to loosen something with the ball end. You can strip it. Make sure it's not too tight. We're just going to grab it here and kind of wiggle and pull down a little bit, just like that. Now there's a clean cut right there because the filament cutter comes across it and cuts it, but you can't push anything through. I didn't bother messing with it to try to get it out or anything like that. And I did have some issues with it, so it was time for a replacement. I want to see, because it actually looks like it's slightly bent. As you can see here, I got a clog just a little bit recently ago, and it didn't stop, so it had a bad day. So we're replacing this. So here we go. And coming soon to a video you're watching right now, the unboxing of the E3D Obxidian High Flow Nozzle. Let's go ahead and open up this pack here. We've got our package of E3D Obxidian High Flow Nozzle. We're going to open it up and see what we got inside. This one here is a 0.4 millimeter. You can see as it shows right here on the box, 0.4. We got the Hotend here. It also shows on this that it's 0.4 millimeter. It shows E3D. It's got the writing and stuff on one side, and the other side it's got your wiring track groove there, and a bag. I'm not sure what this little piece of paper is. So let's open this up. does come with 2 new screws. It's got the Loctite already on them there. You can see the blue right there. Yeah, that way keep it from coming off. Got silicone stock. And we got the clip there that holds everything together. And some thermal grease here. So we'll definitely need to use that. So there is some things on here that we have to remove over, like the fan here, and obviously the thermistor and the heater cartridge we need to move over. So this is just going to have 2 screws that you got to take off and pull them over and put this on the new hot end. Let's go ahead and take these 2 screws out that hold our fan in place so we can move it over, put it on the new hot end, and don't drop your tools like me. We just need to get a screwdriver or something to pull this clip off, and we can slide the heater cartridge and everything out to move it over. So let's go ahead and get that taken off now. Pry it open a little bit and slide it off. And I'm going to try to clean some of this old plastic off here a little bit. So we're reusing this to clean it up a little bit at least. Looks like it's got a big chunk of plastic stuck to the top. I'm kind of worried to get that off, but get the majority of it. And that just come off pretty easily there. Take something and just kind of clean around the edges a little bit. You want to make sure this makes good contact on the heater block, so we want to make sure it's all nice and clean, at least on the one side. The other side not as much, but at least on the side that's making contact with the block. And let's get some gloves on before we start dealing with this thermal paste. Safety first, as always, guys and girls out there. And clean up our area a little bit. And here we go for a quick thumb wrestling match. And I win! We'll open up our thermal grease here. We'll set it aside, have it ready. We're just going to go ahead and put some of this directly on the heater block here and smooth it out. The trick to this is you want to get it as even as possible across the whole thing. You don't want it to be thick and blotchy in one area and then not enough in another area. Now we can place our heater cartridge on here, and let's try to do this without getting it everywhere, but sometimes it's difficult. You don't want to get it all over your heatsink. Wires, tuck them right in there in the channel that runs up the heatsink, and we're going to take off any excess. So we're going to get this thermistor out, pulling on it a little bit. It's not wanting to come out. It's like it's stuck in there or something. Maybe take something and clean around. I think some of that thermal grease may have gotten hard and stuck in there. Don't want to pull too hard because it's a glass bead, so we don't want to break it or pull the wires out of it. There we go. It finally came out after I took an X-Acto knife and kind of got all the dried up hard thermal grease off there. It was stuck in there pretty good, so it looks like it's going to be okay. I didn't break it or anything like that, so I think we're still in good shape as far as that goes. And as I'm doing this, I'm realizing I should have put the thermistor in first before I put the heater cartridge. Then we can slide on the clip that holds it all together in one moment. While it's holding in place, we'll take the clip and slide it on. It goes on one way. You can see so the wires don't get caught up in there. Just push it on there. Now I took some Windex here and a paper towel. I'm just going to kind of clean these fins out a little bit and anything where I've got this thermal grease on where it really shouldn't be. Clean it all off a little bit. Now we can go and put our silicone sock back on. You can see where the nozzle is supposed to be, and it's got a couple little slits at the top for the wiring. So just kind of put it on here and twist a little bit, and it should slide right on for you. So do notice here, that looks like the rubber's touching the bottom fin a little bit. I don't know if it matters much, but the more airflow through there, the better. So just kind of wiggle the wires around a little bit until you get it like this, to where it'll make better cooling for you. You want it to work as high efficiency as possible. And there we go. So let's put this thing on there. So we might just want to add our fan on that we took off the other hot end first before we put it on here. So let's put that on. As you can see here, it's got a couple little holes, kind of notches out. You can see which side it goes on. It's basically, it's the side without the writing. So you're just going to screw this on here before we put it on, then we'll be good to go. This is just going to be reverse of the removal process, so it's pretty simple. We're going to have the 2 screws right here. It came with 2 new ones, so we're going to put those in. I would think that the other ones are the same size, and let's check actually. Yeah, they're the same. Strange, they include these, I guess, but they don't include the ones for the fan. But okay, so what we have to do is just put it back on reverse of the way we took it off, and that was by sliding it up from right in here. There's a little groove that your kind of finger goes in between there, and this little block kind of just sets in there like this, and then the bolts go, screws right through there. So slide this up like that, and we put our 2 screws back in here. You may have to wiggle it around to get it past the point where it starts threading on well. And make sure to get this tight, not crazy tight, but tight enough where it's not going to come off. Now we just need to plug all of our wires back in, and to do so we want to run them up through this right here and hide them behind that little groove there. Actually, I think it's probably best to do this one first, then this one. Pretty self-explanatory where they plug back in. They can only plug in one spot. Hot end, bigger wires go right here. The 2-pin wire goes at the bottom right. And your 4-pin right here. And that sums it up. So what we're going to do now, take this, pop it back in here. Odin's locked back in. And lift this back off here, and we're going to take the magnetics, stick them back on. There you go. She's done. Let's fire it up and see if it works. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Moment of truth. Here we go, guys. I just got this thing put in. I know it works now. I hope it works now, because it's brand new. I know it's not clogged, and now it's not a paperweight anymore, and it actually should do something if I've done my job right. So anyways, we're going to fire it up, heat it up. I got some filament loaded in here, the colors I want to print. And I'm going to print this model that 3D Printing Nerd just put on his video. I think it's called the Twisty. I'm not sure. Alter did a really good job on this model. It's 2 cones that kind of go together a real cool way and upside down. I'm sure you've probably seen it. If not, link in the description of this video. So let's give it a shot and see what this thing can do. Here we go. there you have it, folks. The E3D Obxidian nozzle is working. My Bambu is back, bringing new life to it. 60% faster flow. I may do a video on how fast this thing can go and see if it really actually is 60% faster. But for now, it's working. I'm happy. It's great. There's a quick, easy upgrade. Good price. So these models are very cool. There's two parts. You can print them in either color or the same color, or however you want to do it. They can also, if you don't know, go together this way. Yeah, that just happened. That just happened, yeah. So you just, yeah, I can play with these all night. They're super fun to play with. See? If it's your first time watching the channel, please subscribe for me, hit the like button, and share the joy. I will see you guys on the next video or catch you on my live streams. You guys all out there have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching.